Yeah, sometimes, so here's a little example. If I was leading a Bible study and then someone challenged me, I got quite snappy back, like challenged me on a point I'd make. I'd get quite snappy back and find it difficult to keep going to the end. And as I got into the car one day and realised I had to think into what was going on for me. That's a good question to ask yourself. What's going on? And I realised I was getting the message in that you're not good at this. You shouldn't be doing this job. And so where it was coming from, the snappiness was coming from this deep insecurity. Now, they weren't saying that, but I was definitely reading it that way, which is why I was insecure. So you've got to actually work out when you've got a strong feeling, where is it coming from, what's the message? And it's really good to uncover that, because then I could say to myself, they're not saying that. And as I realised that, I was able to sit the next time, and I still have to do the mental thing. So someone challenges me in a Bible study, I'll go, they're just talking about this point. Just talk about the point. Where do you get that from? This is why I thought that. What do you think? Well, just talk about the point. They're not saying, you're a bad leader. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do this job. So that was all going on in the back of my mind. Now, it sounds easy now that I've uncovered it all and I explain it to you. But at the time, these things are instinctive for us, and we often don't know what's gone on. So it does take a little bit of process, driving in the car, standing in the shower, what's going on for me, and sometimes a little bit of counselling. So I did 1 year of a counselling course, which was just helpful to sort of have an insight into how people worked. It was also just helpful for me to realise some of the things that pressed my buttons, and gave me some tools to actually work out how to uncover those things. Yeah, that's really, you're super mum at that point, aren't you? That's really hard. Yeah, that's really hard. And I think there's a real difference when you don't have to, when you do have to work. I think that comes across differently, especially if it's known. There's quite a different feel to that. With your kids, that's a different feel. If you have to put kids in daycare because you have to work, but you really would rather not, that creates a different feel to, I'm putting you in daycare because I'd much rather be at work. There's two different messages that come through. Look, I think it's just difficult, and you have to work it out according to you. For some people, they would be exhausted, and that's enough. There is nothing left. Except you're always warm on Sundays. You are doing something even when you're not doing a formal thing. So remember that. There's lots of informal ministries that we can be involved in. But if you do have capacity, to lead a Bible study group of women is great for other working women. But only you can answer that. Or your husband. Like, I'll answer it one way, my husband will give me another answer as he looks at me shouting. Yeah, so maybe you need your husband to tell you.
Yeah, just reflections for you, your family, or...
Yeah. I don't think I'd worry about church becoming all-consuming for my kids, in that church is just people and things that are happening. But what I would be wondering is my kids' capacity. Are they able to, it depends, are they able to go to lots of creche situations? Are they able to be out this much? What's the limits before they are obviously distressed by this and just be cutting back? But I think lots of things can be fun about church planning for kids. There are, people in your home, that's kind of exciting for them. But it is working out things for kids. So even simple things like if you have groups in your home and they bring kids, you might need to work out, do they play with all my kids' toys, or do I buy special toys for that and my kids' toys are kept? I think your kids will let you know how happy they are about that, and it's good for them to feel you're listening to them, you're understanding where they're coming from, depending on the age. Well, you can listen to them if they throw tantrums and you can listen to them if they're saying, "Mummy, I don't like them coming over, I'm too," whatever. Does that help? Do you want to dig more into that?
I was just wondering whether your kids, as they've grown older, had any regrets about your involvement with church, or them always having to be stuff for church? Or...
Yeah, no, because I think it's people, it's fun, things are happening. In fact, ours recently said, we wish you had people over more for lunch. Because Andrew and I need to come home and not have anyone for lunch. That's our thing. They wish we had people for lunch. We're like, well, good on you. You make the lunch.
So that's my kids. Like,
Yeah.
my kids are actually quite extroverted and they love having people around, and I need the space.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that they're having some downtime as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't want to look back and say, oh, I'll just let them do whatever they wanted, because they're little extroverts and they have, but is that healthy for them? Is that okay? It's just, I guess, finding their limits and their boundaries.
It's finding their limits, and if they're managing it well, yeah, let them go for it. That's great. Yeah, church. I grew up in a church environment. It was a really good environment. I just remember it being all fun. I had no idea my parents were totally stressed. Yes.
Yeah. How did you manage that sort of change?
Yeah.
Family goes into a massive change, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
The needs of the church is, because we've got multiple church plants.
Yeah. Yep.
Becomes greater.
Yep. You just swap one set of stresses for a different set, don't you? Yeah. It's. I think some of the same rules apply, so this is helpful. A really good day off and a proper one. That in itself is a stress, though, isn't it? Like you come to the day off and it's like, this has got to be really good. It's got to do everything I need it to do, and within 5 minutes there's a big fight. You're not talking to each other, and the day's over, and that was it. That was your day off. We had so many of those. So good day off. And I think it has taken us quite a lot of years to work out what we enjoy doing on the day off and what works. It's just taken us a long time to work that out. And even now, if it's bad weather, no surf, we're a little bit stuck for a while. And holidays. We're at a stage too where we can leave our kids. And here's an example. A couple of weeks ago, our daughter wanted her friends to stay over for a hen's night. She wanted 18 young adults to come and sleep in our house, and they were going to arrive at 2:30 a.m. and then sleep all over the place. And Andrew and I just were like, and I'm going, I need my sleep. We took ourselves off to the Hunter for a night. Never been to the Hunter. We went to a couple of wineries, got a motel. It was such fun. And as we came back, I said, Andrew, I feel really refreshed, and he did too. So I think it is putting in those little surprises. And then, of course, having good holidays, at least, and making sure when you go away, it is for 2-week block, because you don't relax until that second week, really, especially when you're coming off. Yeah, those 1 week or 3 days, and just don't really do it. It's got to be a 2-week block, and 3 weeks is even better. It's the same rules as when you were starting. It's, giving those refreshing things. Then there are periods, don't you find, where you can't, things go wrong and you miss your days off. And so I think you've got to look ahead and go, we've got to make up for this. If we just keep going like this, we will crash and burn. Yes.